Imagine hearing a loud noise so only you can hear. Then suddenly throbbing in your head or brain. Then comes the dizziness and then the blurred vision. This is how it feels getting concussion. This is basically just describing what
Safety,
concussion
he would accelerate up to speed, and as he is running, his brain is also moving down the field rapidly. But as soon as he hits the opposing player to make a tackle, his head decelerates rapidly as he comes to a stop. The same thing happens to the opposing player as well. If their heads were to collide, their helmets would protect them from fracturing their skulls. But the brain is still moving inside as the head comes to a sudden stop, and ultimately will rattle around inside the skull. This is similar to an egg yolk rattling around inside the eggshell if you were to shake it. So even though he has a helmet on, his brain isn't protected from the acceleration and deceleration and rotational forces occurring inside the skull. These G-forces to the brain are what cause concussions, and that is why helmets do not protect against concussions.
So if I was constantly making tackle,
A concussion is a mild traumatic brain injury after a bloated head sent on airplane.com. This has happened to me about 5 times. I got my first concussion in 5th grade, and my last during my sophomore year. On October 5th, 2013, I was at a varsity swim meet at Andrew. After swimming the 500, which is 20 laps, as I was getting out of the pool on the deep end, I hit my head on a pole that went out into 1/4 of the pool. I did not knock out, I just got dizzy as I was walking out of the pool, and I walked to the trainer's office. Later after the concussion, I experienced horrible headaches, severe dizziness and irritability, and a bit of vertigo or loss of balance. I knew what a concussion felt like because of the prior ones I had before, so I didn't think anything of it. Then one day, me and my mother started to leave out the house to get food. She left and I followed her. As soon as I got out the house, I instantly lost my memory. I just had a blank stare on my face. I cannot tell you my name, my address, my mother's name, or nothing. We immediately went to Monster Community Hospital, but by the time I got to the hospital, I was fine. They still gave me an MRI, but the MRI showed nothing because you cannot see concussions on imaging. They basically sent me home and told me to rest for a week. That week was horrible for me. Constant headaches, sensitivity to light and noise, and loss of balance. After that week, my mother took me to Lurie Children's Hospital in downtown Chicago. My doctor told me I was diagnosed with post-concussion syndrome. At the time, I didn't know what that meant. I did not return to school for 2 months. My brain needed rest. After those 2 months, I went back to school, only allowed to listen, not write anything, just listen. I did that for about 2 more months, and then I started partial work, and I did that for the rest of the school year. During this time, when I was out of school for 2 months, I was having severe headaches. I couldn't stand up straight just walking. I couldn't go anywhere. And then my brain got to the point where I started having seizures for no reason, and they still don't know why I had them. I was not released from my doctor till June of 2014. That means I was under the care of a doctor for 9 months. Post-concussion syndrome is when the after effects of concussion stay for longer than 2 months. Multiple hits or blows to the head make the symptoms worse or stay longer. That's why the 24-year-old linebacker from the 49ers retired from the NFL to avoid concussions and serious brain damage caused by the constant hitting. Chris Borland said on TheVerge.com, "Football is just not worth the risk." As said on WebMD, symptoms include chronic headaches, dizziness, sleeping problems, psychological problems such as depression, anxiety, and irritability. But the more severe symptoms are involved with cognitive learning. Cognitive is a psychological result of perception and learning and reasoning. So that means memory loss and hard to keep concentration, and even just thinking about, you just can't keep your mind on something for too long. For example, I don't remember very much of my childhood. It's all just a blur to me because I had all my 5 concussions. I just remember bits and pieces of it. Post-concussion syndrome and concussions are mysteries to the medical world. Like I said, concussions can't be seen on imaging, so everything they know is based off patients' experiences and symptoms. The research is growing, and hopefully they can find a way to protect our brains even more than ever. I didn't want to just...
24 years old and retiring from NFL.
There was two of them. I couldn't find the other one. There was like, it was two.
Is that the guy that recently retired?
Yeah, there was two.
I remember seeing that on the news.
Was that good, Miss Lindsay?
That's pretty good. 440. Speedy.
That was 140.
440.
When I was doing it,
Speedy Gonzalez.
when I was doing it, it was 3 minutes.
Oh, well, there you go. You are fast. But you already know that.
But I tried this time.
Oh, still recording. Real, up close and personal. No, I stopped it.
Yes,
So I